I do like the smell of the sea, you know, and for sick waves crashing against the beach there, you know. I was brought up by sea, you know. No, not this sea here, that's called the Great Sea, that is. If you go on a boat in Great Sea, you can go to Greece. You can get to Rome as well, where Romans come from. If you go a bit further round, apparently I was talking to someone, you can get to this quite hostile place. It's called Britannicus. I wouldn't fancy going there, I tell you. But I was brought up by sea, you see. Not this sea. Sea of Galilee, up north. I were a fisherman, you know. I used to catch fish. Aye, and one day somebody caught me. Not in a net like I were catching fish, though. I met this bloke and he was called Jesus. He recognised something in me and he says to me, he says, Simon. Oh, by the way, that's what my name used to be, Simon. He borrowed me boat, go fishing. And he says to me, do you know what, Simon, I'm going to call you Peter. Peter? What are you calling me Peter for? He said, well, Peter means rock. He said, something solid and firm, he said. I'm going to call you Peter. I want you to follow me. I don't want you to catch fish anymore, but I want you to catch men instead. What, me? I'm a fisherman. I don't know how to do that. I spent loads of time with Jesus. I heard him say all kinds of great things. Absolutely amazing things. He told stories about everyday things. He told a story once about a farmer that went out sowing seeds. I scratched my head and thought, what does that mean? We pulled him aside and said, tell us what it means, we're not quite sure. And he told us all about it. There was another time as well. He told a story about two builders. One of them went out and built a house on a nice bit of rock. The other one didn't bother, he just built it on sand, and of course when rain comes, one hot rock stood firm and the other one washed away. We kind of scratched our heads for a minute and then we realised what he was saying. We need to build our lives on something solid and firm, we do. He did great things too, did Jesus. Not just telling great stories. Did great things too. There was one occasion when my mother-in-law, she were ill. She were really badly ill. And he came in and he put his hands on her and she became well again. And he did that to loads of other people. People that couldn't hear, people that couldn't see, those that couldn't walk about. He did absolutely fantastic things, he really did. And I loved being with him, he became my best friend, he was really great. And then one day we were having a meal together. And he said, you know, I've not got long with you now. And I thought, wait, where's he going? Didn't quite understand what he was talking about, but he talks about things. He broke some bread and we drank some wine, and he said, remember me when you break bread and drink wine. And you know, he said to us, all of you lot, because there wasn't just me, there were 11 others, so all of you lot are going to run away shortly. I says, not me, I'm here for the, I'll be with you. Oh, he says, even you, Peter, you're going to let me down. I said, no. He said, yeah. Jesus was arrested shortly after that. And yeah, guess what? Somebody says to me, you know that Jesus, don't you? Not just once, but twice. 3 times he said it. And I let him down. I told him, I don't know him. And I felt horrible, I did. Next day they crucified Jesus on the cross. And he died. They buried him in a tomb. My best friend. It were a sad, sad day, that were. We went off for Hyde, we did. We went Hyde in the room we'd had our big supper in. We did. We were sad. We were so scared on Sunday morning when sun had come up. Some of the women that knew about it, they went down to the tomb where he'd been buried. Tomb were open, body were gone. They run back to us and said, body's gone. I runs down there, I goes in, how's a look, body weren't there. And Jesus appeared to us, fully well, alive. He said, I've risen from the dead, just as I said I would. You not remember all things I've been talking to you about? It were a good day, that were. It were a real good day, that were. On another occasion, we'd gone back up north and had I'd gone back to doing a bit of fishing. He'd fished all night and caught out. And he sees this fella up shoreline and he shouts across. He says, "Hey, have you caught out?" He said, "Oh, no, not today, we've not." And then one of us recognised and realised, "Hey, that's Jesus," he said. "That's Jesus." I jumps into the water. I didn't have many clothes on and I swam to the side and greeted him. And we had breakfast up beach. We didn't need fish that we'd caught by this time because, you know, he'd already started cooking some fish. And then he started talking to me. And he asked me 3 times the same question. He asked me 3 times if I loved him. And I'd already said 3 times I didn't know him. It's like as if they cancelled each other out like. Didn't quite understand what he was meaning at the time, but what he really was asking is would I help to lead the people on? Me, fisherman from Galilee? I wasn't quite sure about that. We went back to upper room and eventually we saw Jesus a couple of days later go back up into heaven. Clouds covered him and that we thought that were it. The day of Pentecost arrived and like tongues of fire were like resting on us. And there's a big rushing wind that came in and we all got filled with this like power. It was like great. It was exciting and I couldn't wait and I ran outside and I started telling everybody that I could find about Jesus. I said, "You want to read about Jesus and what Jesus has done?" And it was great. 3,000 people that day followed Jesus. It was amazing, absolutely amazing it was. It was a great, great day. And I think thousands of other people now have heard about Jesus. And there's people going off on trips here and trips there and telling everybody about Jesus. It's absolutely great. Jesus once said to me, he said, "I'm going to call you Peter," which means rock. He said, "Because upon this rock I'm going to build my church." Didn't quite understand what he meant by then. Well, I think I do now. Peter the Rock, fisherman from Galilee, called to become a fisherman of men. We all should be fishermen of men, really, shouldn't we?